demonstration of AWS Cloud Computing final project done by Group 2, both Ethan Hughes and Matt McCreary here. So for our final project, we decided to do Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. So this is the fastest way to deploy your web application onto the web. And this is a perfect example of the highlights of agility, elasticity, cost savings, and deployment of global resources in a matter of minutes. So you can get your web application up on the web in less than 20 minutes. So right here, we're going to start and get started and create an application. So our application name is going to be Final Project TECH229. And we don't have to add any other tags, and our platform will be the language that our final project is going to be in. So for us, we're going to choose PHP, and it will auto-format our platform and the platform branch and the EC2 instance and the S3 bucket that we're actually going to use in this application. So Amazon AWS Elastic Beanstalk uses EC2, EC2 security group, an S3 bucket, CloudWatch alarms, a cloud formation stack, which we're going to be building during this demonstration, and a public-facing domain name. So we're going to start with the sample application so we can make sure that everything works perfectly fine. We don't have to add any application tags, just choose your application information name, the platform, and the application code. So then we're going to click on the Create Application button in the bottom right-hand corner. So during this process, it will be launching an Amazon EC2 instance optimized for our platform, an Amazon EC2 security group for that EC2 instance, an Amazon S3 bucket that contains our code, and Amazon CloudWatch alarms to make sure that when we do go over our predetermined limit of the resources requested from an application, it can then send us an alarm, and this will auto scale because it is Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk will auto scale depending on the load, and that will always it'll be automatic regardless of how much you have done in the configuration of anything. And then the AWS Cloud Formation Stack will be actually deployed during this deployment phase right here, and that's how we can control our web application once we have deployed it. So we can add additional resources or additional versions of it later on in the application cycle, where once it's public facing, we can then update the application and we'll have stored versions of the application in our logs in our versions tab, which you'll see in a couple minutes. This does take a little time because it is launching an EC2 instance. It's auto-creating an EC2 security group. It's also creating an S3 bucket connected to that EC2 instance, and it's also making the CloudWatch alarms and the CloudFormation stack as well, and additionally making that public-facing domain so we can access our website. So this will take like 5 to 10 minutes, but it's auto doing everything else for us, so you don't have to be very, very, very technical when you want to launch your application on AWS. So we're going to wait here for a couple minutes as it initializes everything. And as we can see in the log, we have the auto scaling group, which is part of the elasticity of AWS Elastic Beanstalk. We have created the CloudWatch alarm. You can see the names right there. And this log will continue to go and report on the status of the Elastic Beanstalk AWS instance until we get the 200 OK or the health OK log, which then we can refresh the page and enter into the Elastic Beanstalk console. As we can now see at 10:19 a.m., we have created a load balancer, and that's the name of the load balancer. If you look down lower, we can see the CloudWatch alarm and the two names that those alarms have, and the auto scaling group policy below that at 10:18. So now that we see the log that the application available at 10:20 has gone from pending to okay, we're now greeted with the Elastic Beanstalk console. So from here, we can see the health is 100% okay in this area right here. When you go to upload new code, this will change to pending, and it will have a recirculating circle or arrow circle as it's checking all the health statuses of your new application version. And if your new application version does not have all the checks, it will then have a red circle with the exclamation point saying, hey, we did not update the version of the application, and you have to fix these things. And the things that you will need to fix if that happens will be recorded down here in the logs. So on the right-hand side, we see the platform is PHP running on 64-bit Amazon Linux. And now we're going to upload and deploy a sample application. So in the version label right here, once you upload your zip file, because you have to upload a zip file with all the configurations and your PHP code, it will give you a unique version label. So let's upload the sample PHP file. It's right here. And we can go down here to deployment preferences, but you don't need to change any of those things to deploy your first sample application. So down here on the bottom right, we're going to hit the deploy button. As you can see, the recirculating arrow circle checking on the health of the application when it goes through all the zip files, or the files contained in the zip. And once that is going to be the OK that we saw before with the green check mark, we can then go to the environment which we just deployed, which is right here. So we have the congratulations, and now we have launched our first web application in a matter of minutes. This again highlights the agility, elasticity, cost savings, and the deployment of global resources on AWS within a couple minutes. So in case you are not tech savvy or have never worked with AWS or any cloud computing software before, this is a perfect way to get your resources out on the web for global facing clients.